Hello, heroes. Thank you all for tuning in to the 37th episode of the Nexus podcast. I'm Adam Eastwood, and along with me, I have the lore-loving, timer-altering gamer back from the Pro Football Hall of Fame game and ceremony, David Troy. What's going on, David?
Hi, everybody. It's I had a lot of fun down there in the United States of America, but I'm happy to be back here in the Nexus, speaking to everybody here.
Mm-hmm. We have our Blizzard and eSport enthusiast, Ben Blazik.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's ready for, fun weekend. Hopefully lots of Blizzard games. Hopefully lots of heroes.
Mm-hmm. We have the amazing Josh Williams.
That is me. Great to see you guys. You missed out on a fun weekend when I got to go hang out with David.
And and our special guest this week. If anyone plays with him in Heroes, he's Triumphy, but today he is Brandon. What is going on, man?
Not much. Glad to be here. Thanks for letting me come and talk to you guys.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming. We love to get kind of new people on the show. I didn't write the questions down like I normally do because I forgot, but we do have a couple of questions that we ask our normal guest hosts. So, what is your impression? First, your impressions of Heroes of the Storm now that you've been playing it with us for a while. Anything in particular that you liked that you didn't think you were going to like, and so on?
One thing I didn't know if I was going to like was the talent system. It's actually turned out and gotten a whole lot better for me. I was worried that I wasn't going to have that customization that you can have in other games, like League, where you can customize with your items and stuff. But the talents definitely give you that door into doing that. So yeah, that's mine.
That's yours. Now, obviously, there's a lot of hype kind of going in from last BlizzCon, and there was a list of heroes. Who did you think was going to be your favorite hero before ever even playing the game?
Illidan. Illidan was my man, and even when the alpha came out, it was my man for sure.
And so you say when the alpha came out, he was your man, but so who was your main man now then?
Definitely Rehgar.
Yep.
He's a beast.
Hence why we have you on this week, because we're going to be going over Rehgar, and having someone who's played in so many games with him is good to have.
Definitely.
Ben, let's go ahead and start with you with our kind of weeks in gaming. What have you been up to gaming and anything else, really?
Been playing some Heroes and some WoW, nothing really too exciting. I got a list of things that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not. Just because I'm on a heavy travel schedule with work right now, and I just got back from a command briefing in North Carolina. So just kind of chilling, doing my PvP and WoW, and I don't know, trying to be a little bit more versatile in Heroes, but it's not going the way that I wanted to right now, and I'm getting kind of frustrated. So I guess I'm in more so of a semi-slump, maybe, but we'll see what happens.
Now, I don't know if we really talked about it. We know people know you play Uther, and that you play Tychus, obviously. What have you played to try and kind of diversify, like you said?
A little bit of Vala, some Zagara, Falstead. Sergeant Hammer was kind of like my tertiary hero that I was playing, but not as much. So I've been trying to incorporate more Sergeant Hammer into my rotation, and then hopefully maybe a little bit more Witch Doctor, but I've been kind of leaning off of it for a little while.
Oh, sounds good. Josh, what have you been up to since the last time you were on the show, which was last week?
A whole week. I've been playing off and on Marvel Heroes 2015, and playing Heroes of the Storm, of course. That's really it. I haven't really been playing too much, but those are the two games I do play when I play a lot. Unless I'm playing Hearthstone at work on my iPad. But that's about it.
Yeah. How are you enjoying the new stuff in Hearthstone?
I'm liking it a lot. For whatever reason, I'm horrible at it. I can play against people online and beat them. But when it comes to beating the computer, I'm garbage at it. I can't do it. I don't know why. I can't beat the first boss of the military wing. Guess as good as mine, why?
Like in heroic or just like normal?
Normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get some more practice. Who's the first? No, I'm just
kidding. I can.
Who is that? Who is the first boss?
It's Instructor Vesuvius or something.
Yeah, Instructor something.
Yeah, you just have to take control of his two guys and then win, right? I thought that's how easy it was.
Maybe for you. I suck at fighting the AI. I don't know why.
Oh, I have one deck that really works well because a lot of the AI decks they feel more like minion decks, like zoo type stuff. So I have kind of my anti-zoo. So
Well, maybe I'll have to copy
I'll
that
send
deck.
you my hunter deck, and then you can try it out.
I'll try it, but I guarantee you I'll make it fail.
Oh, I make it fail enough. Don't worry.
That's the spirit.
Brandon, what have you been up to in terms of games this week?
Oh, goodness, a lot of Heroes. I've been playing with Adam a lot. And then Marvel Heroes also. That's a great game. I've been playing it quite a bit. So basically the same as Josh.
Yeah.
Me too. I've been playing Marvel Heroes because you kind of got me into
Don't lie
it.
to fit in with us. Don't lie.
No,
And Rocket
Marvel
Raccoon,
Heroes.
man, that's great.
He was playing Rocket Raccoon. I was playing Nightcrawler. It was last night. One night. That counts as playing. David, what have you been up to? It's been about 2 weeks, so hopefully you've been up to something.
It's been a pretty eventful. I was in lovely Ohio for the weekend to go down to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Got to see the induction ceremony. Hang out with Josh. That was a lot of fun. A big shout out to Ohio's finest for managing not to arrest me at any point on the weekend. This was kind of my big party boys weekend out with the baby. So we were feeling our oats, feeling like we were 25 again. So, but unfortunately, in the morning we felt our real age afterwards. But in terms of gaming, a lot of knacks in Hearthstone. I'm really enjoying that. The AI is a lot of fun. Shocking news! I actually paid real money for it. I decided not to grind out the gold.
Wait, what?
Stop the
I
presses.
justify to myself saying it's content and not microtransactions. So it's kind of like buying Warlords. I'm buying new content. That's the thing. So not buying the cards, buying the content. So also got a chance to play a little bit of Heroes. I've discovered that the main reason I enjoyed playing Witch Doctor was killing minions. I can't really do that as well anymore, so I switched to Tassadar and Psionic Storm. So I really like picking on the little guys, and then I just kind of shield everybody in and hold, do my little shots in while everybody else kills the actual hero. So I'm beginning to think I'm kind of like a weasel bully in Heroes of the Storm. And in regards to WoW, we've kind of slowed down our ratings, so we're kind of holding off on heroics right now. Everyone's doing things in the summer, so I actually got to raid Dragon Soul heroic for the first time. Actually was away from the game during that whole patch, so it was my first time killing Deathwing. So it was pretty easy, as it should be at this point, but it was kind of cool. It was a different experience as well.
I still, you said a lot of things after, but I'm still stuck on you spending real money on a free-to-play game.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was really right up until the day before. I was like, am I gonna grind all this time to do it? Because I felt bad, because I didn't want to feel like I was buying cards. I really pride myself that I've been doing it free to play. But I figured the way I reason it to myself is I don't get to play the new cards until I've beaten all the bosses on heroic. So once I can beat all the bosses on heroic, I let myself play with the new cards that have come out. So I feel like I've actually gotten loot. So luckily, I've been able to do that. So I've been able to stick to my kill the bosses the day it comes out run. Playing you'd like this, Adam. Playing a lot more priest than I ever have. Basically, there's a lot. If you play priest, Josh, you usually are able to pull something out because they've got enough gimmicks to do it.
David, I will say that I'm proud of you for spending money. I was in an airport when you first tweeted about it, and I read that, and I just sat there chuckling. And my coworker's like, "What are you laughing at?" And I was like, "You wouldn't understand."
Basically, what you're saying is you paid to make a better decks because you're paying for these cards.
Ooh.
Well, like I said, like I said, I felt like I had to earn it. So until I beat them on heroic, which, I mean, as you've known playing the heroic bosses on it, they're not easy. They're definitely tough puzzles to solve. So until I do it, I don't get to play the card. But I've been able to do it, and like I said, I feel good about it. I feel good about myself. I've still got my dignity. That's
like a self-imposed restriction. We should tell everyone because you get them after beating them in normal.
Yeah, you do get. Yeah, you do get them. I could have played them, but I've gotta feel like I earn it. Gonna wear my hair shirt and beat myself across the back a little bit before I let myself play these cards I paid for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I've been playing a ton of Heroes lately. The new patch kind of got me kind of amped up to play it. I've been trying to level up and get some of the master skins. I'm working on Illidan and Diablo right now. Tyrael will be leveled up by the time they put out the master skin for Tyrael for me. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm getting close to being back up to 40,000 gold, and I need something to spend it on, honestly. So master skins is it right now. I don't have any artifacts to spend my gold on. And outside the game, I have to mention this because it's basically my childhood in a movie at this point. Is I did get to go see. Well, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy last Saturday after the show, but I got to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today. And I'll tell you something. I had so much fun watching that movie. Might not have been, the best movie of the summer in terms of this quality of it. But man, it was so much fun. They got the attitude of the turtles right. That's what mattered to me. I loved it. Any of you guys gonna go watch it or no?
I want to. I don't know if I'll. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go anytime soon. Just because of stuff going on, but I definitely want to see it. But Guardians was just so amazing.
I almost half expected them to show Donatello playing World of Warcraft. I don't know why, but they didn't, so it's not a spoiler. But I was kind of expecting them to do that because they gave him the glasses with the tape in the middle and everything. They're like, we're going super nerd.
He was a nerd.
Anything else up this week, guys? I mean, it's a late news week, so if anything else you want to kind of throw out there, any other kind of stories or any crazy games you play this week?
So we get that announcement on next Wednesday, don't we? Next Wednesday, Thursday for World of Warcraft?
Yes. Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Thursday. Yep.
So we're going to be able to see the opening cinematic.
It's exciting.
And launch the release date, too.
I already know the release date. It's the Tuesday after the 10-year anniversary.
You think I personally think it's like the week after BlizzCon.
Right. Pretty much.
Is that what you think it is?
That's like right around. I think that's the Tuesday after the because it's going to be a Tuesday, obviously. So I don't think they're going to throw it before BlizzCon just because that's going to they need people in the office in case there's bugs and issues and not everyone's going to be at BlizzCon. They have to actually have people working on it. Even if you do it, I think a month before BlizzCon, you're going to run into some problems with staffing.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to get it out before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. That way they can get the day after Thanksgiving sales in there because of the 90s, the free 90 boost, and also the I don't know if they've announced this yet, but I have a feeling that they might make it. You just need to buy Warlords, and that's it. You don't need to buy the rest of the expansions, and the Warlords will give it to you all the way up till Warlords. I mean, if they do that and release it around the holidays, that would be perfect because so many people can. Oh, I haven't played since Wrath. Well, by Warlords, you'll have everything and a level 90, so you'd be good to go. I think that would be smart, but I don't know if it's going to happen. That'd be awesome.
I think it would make a lot of sense, especially so much of this expansion is about trying to get people back to the game. There's absolutely no reason they should put any type of barrier up to buy mists or anything like that. So that would make a lot of sense from a business point of view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they make it. They're going to do the cheap. Buying of all the previous expansions. So that way people can go in power level instead of having to buy characters and stuff like that. So that'll happen. That always happens right before the expansion, I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's like I was there for every expansion release except for BC because I took a short break from vanilla.
I was.
So I'm excited, and I'm also excited to actually play a class that I already have leveled up to the previous max level at the beginning of the expansion, because I played monk this expansion and I first week leveled the monk from 1 all the way up.
It doesn't like the monks.
That's not cool.
I don't like anything in Pandaria, but anyways.
Mages for the win. Mages for the win.
Well, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of news that we do have this week. They've officially announced no mages ever in Heroes of the Storm. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Thank God.
There you go.
That would hurt.
I think we have two people that would be very angry, Ben and David.
That's right.
If that
Absolutely.
No, for real though, we do have Stitches Week, which is probably going to last until Monday, as they normally announce it on Tuesday. So I took it serious this time. I said, you know what, Stitches Week. I've been playing a lot of Warriors. Let me get in there. Let me play some Stitches. And man, I've had a ton of fun with Stitches this week. Have any of you guys been playing Stitches recently, or just kind of overall?
Not me. I did play him a couple times. He is fun. I really do like him, but I haven't really played him too much. But he is cool.
I expected David to step up because he was all obsessed with Stitches for the longest time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Stitch. I just haven't played him this week. I mean, he's solid. He's always my go-to warrior. If I need to do a quest, he's fun. Or I just feel like, eating another hero. He's just always really enjoyable. I've been totally in love with Tassadar for the last little while, so I've been playing a bunch of him. And because I'm actually back to leveling talents and trying to go for those master skins, and I love Tassadar's master skin, I'm kind of like really throwing all in with him.
So did and you guys get a chance to actually watch the hero announcement video that they put out?
Yeah.
What did good? I thought it was so funny. It might have been the funniest one yet because it's just like that sad, depressing music, and Stitch is just looking for someone to play with.
Oh yeah.
And then he jumps out on a unicorn.
Yes, and that's
that was good.
And that's a great thing because I always put Stitches on the unicorn. Like I'm like, that is the ideal mount for someone named Stitches is the rainbow unicorn. I mean, they couldn't have a better matching pair, right, Ben?
For irony and comedy reasons, I'll give you that one.
So it was actually exciting. I really like what they're doing with these hero weeks because it makes me want to try them out again, especially like people that might have only tried maybe to get the first two quests the way they had before. I don't remember having this much fun with Stitches. I did, however, realize how annoying the talent gating is this week even more. Like, because I'm like, man, I've been playing Diablo. I've been playing Tyrael. They're both warriors. Just give me the abilities with Stitches. Come on. The basic abilities just aren't enough because they're kind of the generic warrior ones. So I'm officially against the gating. Maybe if they're gonna do it for like your. I forget if I said this last week. Do it for the type. Like if you play 4 games as a warrior type, bam, all the warriors are now unlocked in terms of their talents. Something, because I don't think I can do this every time a warrior comes out.
I don't know. I feel like if you're investing the gold or the money into a hero, you should be able to play them right off the cuff and be able to do all the strategies that everybody else can. I think that we were talking about how you guys were talking about how artifacts handicap people. That definitely handicaps people. So.
Oh yeah, it goes back to our whole full kit discussion we had last week.
Exactly.
I mean, who knows where they're going with that? But the one thing is, okay, so we're ramping up the hero spotlight stuff from Blizzard, or they are at least. I think it kind of shows at least a little bit maybe their hand as far as where we're going. I mean, if we're now having consistent hero weeks with consistent videos coming out, we got to be getting closer to something. I mean, look how polished the alpha is. We've always talked about that. All these changes to the engineering side of the house and gameplay performance. I mean, we're getting close. I don't want to say it, but we're getting there.
We're getting to
right.
a BlizzCon beta announcement. Is that what you're trying to not say?
I mean, it's August. Part of me feels like it could be before. I mean, why not? I mean, I feel like we're almost pretty much ready for it, and we're definitely ready for more heroes. I mean, we, just got Rehgar. We're getting Chen. We know that Kael'thas and Sylvanas are out there somewhere, and we also know that 2 other heroes are at least in the engine. We don't know what their status is, but Anubarak and Cho'Gall are in the engine because they were in the gameplay videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm going to start the countdown now. We're 12 Nexus episodes away from BlizzCon.
So 12 weeks.
Whoa, this should be like a song, like 12 Stitches hooks.
David,
Murphy, fish
I
is.
like it.
David, you're in charge of getting that done.
That's it.
We have to get some more people on there. If we got someone to do some background music.
I want it by the end of the podcast.
5 golden Uthers.
Seems like you thought of this before.
I know.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
all set. So. Oh man.
It was a long drive back from Canada. Let's just tell you that.
Let's see. What else do we know? Blizzard is going to be at PaxPrime. I don't think that's too much of a surprise. You know, they have definitely been upping their con presence over the past year or so. Seeing as though they were at PAX East, it only makes sense that they would now be at PaxPrime. You know, it just makes sense. I wonder if so you look, you know, PaxPrime is August 29th through September 1st. You know, during PAX East, we were able to try out, what was it, Lily and Brightwing, if I remember.
You were there.
Chen's going to be there.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I was the one that was there, so I should be the one who knows.
Yeah, good job.
So, you know, even before they put him in the game. So I wonder, you know, I think before, August 29th is PAX Prime. I think we're going to get Chen before that. And then they give us Cho'Gall and Kael'thas. They're going to have try out at PAX Prime.
So what do you guys think? We get a panda every con?
We're kind of running. I guess there's Terra and Zoo out there, right? Terra and Zoo would be pretty cool.
Asa should be fun.
Yeah.
Yep, G Firepaw. I really like pandas. I don't know why.
Get back to the people that actually matter.
Oh, I think all the pandas matter.
You know, like Thrall and Sylvanas and Kael'thas.
But you know, the sad part is like Asa and G are still a step up from like Murloc and Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, but they had to release a joke. So I mean,
you know, actually, kind of talking about that. The funny thing is, I really think I don't even think it's funny, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to hold back on Varian Thrall until it's officially out, because then it's like they're building some hype, like, you know, oh, it's the first week of actual, you know, live servers. Thrall is available. People come and play Thrall. You know, people haven't been able to play him yet. I think they need to do that. They need to hold some people back while we're still in a technical alpha, and then even in the beta, you have to hold it back as much as they probably want him in the game right now.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll see that.
You know, I think they have enough big names in there already to make it interesting. You know, I think you pretty much have all the Diablo big names, Tyrael and Diablo, and you have the big names from StarCraft with Kerrigan and Raynor and Zeratul in there and Tassadar. So, you know, I think they have to hold some stuff back before, you know, the game actually releases. You need something at release to make it interesting.
Yeah, they definitely. So, how many heroes do you think they'll try to launch with?
52.
52?
That's what I think.
It's a good number.
Yep, you have the original 18, and I think it's not going to be more than a year since the original 18. I think we're going to see the launch of the real game like January, February of next year.
Really? Like out of beta and everything?
I think it's going to be a short beta. This technical alpha has been so long that I don't think it's going to take much for the beta. Or at least maybe an open beta at that time, because you know, kind of what they did with Hearthstone, where we're still in beta, but everyone can play, and you know, we have everything in the game that we're ever going to have in the game for launch.
And that works for a title like this. I mean, for a free-to-play game that in this type of genre, that's fine. You don't have to have like an official WoW release or anything like that. As far as hitting 52, I mean, they're gonna have to really start speeding up the releases if we're gonna, you know, because we're like 4 or 5 months away from that. So I would love to see that personally, and I would also love to see them like dig into some more like the other names. Like for example, we all know my obsession with Nax Ramus. Why not? Let's see some bosses from Nax. I mean, they're putting a Nubarak in the game. You know, why not?
Mm-hmm. I'm a little surprised that they didn't actually, as kind of a tie-in to the Hearthstone adventure mode. Like, actually, Kel'Thuzad would be pretty cool. Like that would, and that's another guy I'd love to just float around like him, and you know, I don't know, raise other heroes from the dead. Like he'd be cool. Like you could have like an ability, like after he kills a hero, you get to kind of spawn a copy, kind of like original Bug. Sorry, it's been a while.
Abathur?
Abathur, yes. Bug 1.
Bug 1.
So back to the release. So do you think, well, knowing that Hearthstone just kind of got released like just randomly, do you think that we'll see anything more than what they did with Hearthstone, just so because they want to have this game more hyped?
I think if they do an open beta like they did with Hearthstone, they're not going to have like a kind of a big, huge thing because there's no box copy to release or anything like that. It's out.
Yeah.
So,
well, wouldn't it be kind of cool if we could have a box copy and it came with like half the heroes? And for investing in buying like a collector's box, you get half the heroes in the game.
Well, two things about that. One, at that point, it wouldn't be a free-to-play game. Two, they will. I think that what they're going to do is some type of like special digital buyer's pack, like how I remember when the first pack came out for League of Legends, where you could do that, and it came with a whole slew of champions and RPB and some skins, and it was like the big pack that was like, oh, like, you know, I kind of bought the game, so here's a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do something like that.
Yeah, see, and that's why I'm going back to that, because I actually bought the box copy of League of Legends, and I got like half the champions. So
I didn't even know League of Legends was free to play. I went there, saw the box, was like, oh, this game looks like fun, and then, you know, bought it, got home, and then found out that it didn't have to do that.
I did the same thing.
Bravo.
I bought it when I was just at the store. I'm like, oh, I've heard of this game, so I'm going to buy it.
Now those things are super rare.
I know.
Can't find those boxes anymore.
You know what's funny though, if you think about it, you know, that's kind of smart. You know,
Definitely.
You're making people spend money on the game that's free when they don't really realize it. Like that is a good way to go about it.
I don't know.
Strangely enough, I did the same thing with Star Wars: The Old Republic, except it just became free to play later on. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd buy it if they did that. I'd definitely buy a collector's edition of Heroes.
Yeah, I absolutely would too. But I guess my thing is, like, they didn't do it with Hearthstone, and there's 1,000 things they could have done with Hearthstone with different types of card varieties and different card backs. I feel like if they didn't do it with Hearthstone, and now they're trying to head up this free-to-play market like they did with Hearthstone, and now they're trying to come into the MOBA genre market, I don't feel like they're gonna do it.
But if it's basically just like added heroes, like you're just buying the heroes, then there's I mean, you can still play the game free to play. That's not going to stop people from playing. It's kind of like a little box I can put up behind me, and you know, I get my little statue of, you know.
I guess maybe I should like rephrase that. I don't feel like they're going to dive the resources into producing those packages and then shipping them out.
Yeah, well, and I guess there's something to be said for seeing a game title through the shop of or your GameStop or your game shop in your town. That, I mean, like when I go to a site and I see Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft ad, I don't think I'd click on it. And if they do the same thing with Heroes, I think that the same thing is going to happen. Unless you know about it from past experiences, you're not going to really think anything of it.
If anything, what they would do instead of like maybe like an actual box is just the Battle.net cards, and that card will exclusively come with X champion or heroes and maybe some skins and, you know, a little bit of gold.
Yeah, I agree.
No, for sure that's pretty much what I'm expecting. Except maybe they like oh, it's a collector's edition card. You get bonus stuff.
That's kind of lame. But
I really wish that they would come out with just a box, a collector's box, even if it's empty.
just because I have a box I can put on my wall. That's all.
Yeah, because I have every Blizzard collector's edition from Burning Crusade up to now, including Diablo and StarCraft. And I want one for Heroes of the Storm, and even like a cool box for Hearthstone that's kind of shaped like the table, you know, when it's folded and then it opens up. That's like a box like that. It's like, I just want to collect all the Blizzard stuff I can.
Yeah, I think Hearthstone release was a little bit lackluster. I think they should have done more with it.
Yeah,
hey, we're here.
Yeah, that was really low key. I was like, even like, but I mean, that game was kind of like baked, like, you know, and ready. It's just, I am a little surprised how low key it was. No way it's going to be like that for Heroes. They need something a little more, they need a little more flashy.
Yep. No, real quick to kind of jump back into the Blizzard at PAX conversation. just because it's ironic. It's funny that I should have read this before. I got the thing that says PAX and it said, hey, we'll talk about it. And I just realized now it specifically says, be among the first to try out 3 exciting new heroes.
Oh, dang.
It actually says it there.
Chen, Kael'thas, and
Cho'Gall.
I feel like because they listen to the show, they're not gonna release Cho'Gall just to make me mad.
It's too good to be true.
They're never gonna release our Nubarak. We just get to see him.
No,
I feel like it's a tie between Sylvanas or a Nubarak, just because the Nubarak's been hinted at the most and the longest.
see, I will take out Chen from your list because I think he'll be out beforehand, and add Nubarak, Kael'thas, and Sylvanas will be the 3 new heroes for them to play.
When is it again? The 20
The 29th of August.
That
can't
gives
wait
us
till
3
Sylvanas.
weeks.
I think we're gonna see. If today's the 8th, the 29th is a Friday, so I think we're gonna see on the 27th or the 28th, right around there, we're gonna see Chen. Unless they're gonna count Chen as new and exciting because he's only been out for like a day or two.
What week
that really depends.
of this last month did we get Rehgar?
Last week of the month, we've been getting a new hero every month.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay, so it was last week. Dang. Feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, well, it was a long last week. It feels like,
Yeah.
because
That
we
makes sense.
got it at the very end of the month, because it was like the 30th, or the first was Friday, so we got it on like the 31st, and then we played it this week. So, because the Rehgar week, you don't really get to play him all week. You get to play him like 2 days out of the week by the time he gets released.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we need to get on the ball with this. We gotta call up Dustin Browder. So
Let's get him on the phone.
Let's get on this.
Be like, who's gonna be available? We really need to. I need to find a friend who's going to PaxPrime and be like, man, you need to go play him. We'll even bring you on the show.
I
friend's
still gotta
going.
get that figured out for BlizzCon, but
Yeah, well,
My friend
BlizzCon
goes.
will all be there, so it's like we get to play and stuff.
no,
so.
but I mean like figuring out who's gonna be on the show for BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah, that's you and Josh's job. We've already decided that. A few blogs have also been going up over the past couple days. They have one about gameplay responsiveness. I've never experienced too much issues with the command latency. It could be that I never really played anyone with a skill shot, and now that I am in Stitches... Actually, no, I played Nova. I don't know, I never really experienced much problems. Have you guys really had issues with kind of... Ben? For sure, Ben.
Yes, absolutely. This is something I've noticed since the beginning. Granted, because it was an alpha, I didn't really talk too much about it because I knew that was something that had to be addressed. But oh yeah, it's very well. At least for me, it's very noticeable because a lot of the guys that I play are skill shot based, and even you wouldn't really think it, but it even affects Tychus's Q a lot. Even though it locks on the target, it affects that very heavily because of the range and the fact that it has to channel. I haven't really been noticing too many changes to it, but I still think it's got a long ways to go.
Yeah. I notice a lot when I'm using Envenom on anybody. I think that I got it on them, and then I don't have it on them, and they're right next to me. And it's kind of frustrating when you die and you could have had Envenom on them. And yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
that's
seen
where
it
I see it
with
most.
Envenom a lot too, and it's really frustrating because I feel like I wasted a whole talent just because it's really, really hit and miss. I usually get more FPS issues than anything, in terms of skill shots, but then I'm never quite sure if that's the latency or just me.
Well, they said one thing that will kind of fix latency, and I don't know if they just have a North American server, but they did talk about there's regional... I guess you'd just still connect to the North American, not a Canadian one at that point. But I wonder if that might be part of the issue, because you were in the alpha before pretty much all of Canada. I mean,
That's right. That's right.
Canada got in after, just recently. So I wonder if maybe that was where a lot of your issues were coming from, was they weren't expecting Canadian super internet like you have.
It's possible, but to be perfectly honest, I mean, if it's on the... Yeah, I mean, it's really more West Coast, East Coast than Canada, US. So I know, I mean, their servers are on the West Coast, I imagine. So that could be, but I should probably be, honestly, I'm probably as close to the servers as you are, Adam.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Like, it can't be that much of a difference.
Yeah, but I wonder if it, internet service providers and cross-country issues. I don't know if if it matters, you know.
It has to go through. It has to go through customs to get into America.
Exactly. It's getting stopped, checking it for beers, stuff like that.
Your entire game just gets cavity searched over and over.
If I remember right,
I like Stitches so much.
If I remember right, we're still using the StarCraft like delay, right? That they use in StarCraft.
Possibly. I'm not too sure honestly, but it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I know that they have a latency thing in StarCraft, and that if we're using the StarCraft 2 engine still, then we still have that built-in latency. So that could be it. And with MOBAs, you can't have that because, like I said, if you have in Venom and you got to get it off right then, right there, it's not going to go off. So
yeah, a lot more faster pace in the MOBAs compared. StarCraft 2 is pretty fast paced, but because of how it's laid out, you don't notice it not catching up. You know, the latency there going on with the key pushes and stuff. So
yeah, it's very little one-on-one, action.
Micro, more. It's more micro than StarCraft, I think, and that kind of stuff.
Anytime I botch a Tychus grenade, it's input lag.
exactly. Every time.
Wow, that happens a lot.
Hey, gonna have words.
You might want to be careful. We are live on Twitch. Someone might call the cops on you. You're threatening somebody. Okay, so gameplay responsiveness. We've all witnessed it. Hopefully, it gets better. And then last, they just kind of brought it out. Kind of their matchmaking design. This is something that I feel just needs to be fixed. I don't like going up against a pre-made 5 when it's only one or two of us kind of playing together. It really kind of takes away from the game. I know, Ben, when we were playing last night, after you left, I got the same exact 5-man the next game that we were playing against. So, we got pretty much stomped that game, and then the next game we got stomped again. So kind of made me feel better knowing that they were a 5-man and there's nothing else we could have really done about it. But they need to really fix the system.
We have to open it up before it's the downside to being alpha testers at this point. The player pool, even though it's gotten a lot bigger, so it's not as bad as it used to be, it's still not big enough because we can't implement matchmaking based upon factors of A, is it a full 5? Find a full 5. B, is it 2 to 4 players? Find 2 to 4 players and then throw the rando in the middle. And then C, all solo. We can't do that yet because the player base is just not large enough to search.
Yeah, only 4,000 people to search from, basically.
Mm-hmm. And so, we're not going to see that probably until beta at the earliest. Which I'm hoping at that point we're going to have more matchmaking features. But I don't even think the MMR changes that they're doing right now that's gonna fix until our player base opens up.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did notice is I was playing a game before we went live, and I had a game where there were no assassins. Like the team builder actually built our team, and we didn't have any assassins on. And then I checked the other team, and they didn't have any assassins on. So I'm wondering if that was meant to be, like if their system actually will put those kind of teams together, or if that was just random.
I've been noticing a lot lately no assassin teams. Last night I played a couple without assassins, which was kind of weird. Are less people playing assassins right now? Is there an issue with assassins, or is it just just luck at this point?
I think it's just matchmaking and luck at this point, because I played a game earlier where there was 2 warriors, 2 supports, and a specialist, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And then I played another game where it was 3 assassins and 2 warriors, and I'm like,
yeah,
the hell.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the matchmaking is definitely weird right now, for sure.
Yeah, I think especially because we're an alpha, though. A lot of it's just kind of spinning our wheels, right? And like Ben mentioned, until we get a bigger pool, it's hard for them to really put in any type of advanced matchmaking. Until we get ranks, it's hard for them to do it. So from what I read in terms of their post, I like where they're going with it. The concepts they're talking about make a lot of sense. So as long as they've got that in mind, I can be patient because I know we're only dealing with a small pool right now. So I fully expect matchmaking to be a little bit messed up. So it's just, once we get that big group of players in, we can really start, messing around with it and bring in all these, query requests and things like that in terms of parsing. So, it'll be okay. I've got full confidence in them.
One thing though, this ties a little bit into it. I still don't think the punishment for levers is really doing much of anything either, because the games that I was playing today, it was I don't know, maybe that 60-40 loss to win, and people are still at one point during team fights, so like GG, and they leave. Granted, they're stuck to the game; they can't play another one until it's over. Still not doing anything about it because nobody cares because it's alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the one thing that, they kind of talk about future improvements, I really like the idea of using individual skill rating and how much you've played the selected hero. I kind of like that kind of mix of that. If it's something where it's either going to work really well or it's just going to flop and they're going to drop it.
Yeah.
Josh, what are your thoughts on the kind of the future improvements that they're talking about here?
I like them. I'm excited. One thing I'm mainly excited about is the skill-based matchmaking, like they have in StarCraft 2. I'm excited about that. So you get people that are more skill-based on you. Yes, as we all said, it's hard to see that happening now because of the small pool. But once that goes into effect, I am excited about that. So I can get people that are more of my play skill in the match with me when I'm going in solo.
No, I agree. Sometimes you just, like I said earlier, you get that 5-man group and you just want to punch yourself in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's rough sometimes. Any other final thoughts on matchmaking before we move on?
I think we need a draft mode. That'd be nice.
We need a draft mode big time.
You'll probably do that for ranked, I'm sure.
Because the blind versus thing was great when we were. Well, I guess I can't put this title on all of us here, but it was great for me when I was first getting in and just playing with friends, but now I'm to that point where I'm ready to start doing things on a more competitive side, and I'm ready to actually elaborately pick my team going into the map. I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm tired of the random versus.
Because that's one thing they haven't really talked too much on what rank's going to be like. Yeah, in case you guys, I don't know if you guys caught that, but they haven't really said too much about what they're thinking about with rank mode and stuff. I'm sure they're going to have draft modes and stuff like that in there.
I think.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever put it in for casual. I think for just like regular role playing, I don't think they'll ever put that in. It's very much against their philosophy of you being able to play the hero you want to play.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, that you're still going to have the option though. So I mean, you could click on casual and then you have random and then you have draft. So I mean, it's still your choice.
Yeah, and one thing we have seen added to other MOBAs is a team builder. So if you want to play your champion, you pick what champion you would, and it'd be just like now. Or you could go into normal, and it would have some kind of team builder, which would be nice.
No, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like a more, robust matchmaking and team building system. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're playing with like random people, I really want be able to talk to those people prior to picking your heroes. It's very frustrating getting put on a team and you're like, oh, we don't have an assassin. Yeah, we might win, and it worked out, and we have an assassin, or we don't have an assassin, but it worked out. But I think you basically kind of need an assassin, at some point in a game. Otherwise, you just kind of have to play differently, which is hard when you don't have good communication anyways,
Yep.
Agreed.
So.
Here.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we will move on to our Hero Spotlight, which we have not done in quite a little while.
All right.
This is the Hero Spotlight.
Now, anytime that there is a new hero available, or if we just feel that we need to kind of go over a hero because there are any major changes, we're going to kind of spotlight them for the week. This week, we are spotlighting the Shaman of the Earthen Ring, Rehgar, Earth Fury. David, I didn't really talk to you kind of ahead like I normally do. Do you have any kind of tidbits of lore and story about Rehgar?
The odd thing was, I totally forgot that I do the lore for the Hero Spotlight until about 5 seconds ago. However, I do know a little bit about Rehgar. I mean, Rehgar is featured very prominently in the WoW comics. He's very tied into the whole, tied in with Varian. Essentially, again, pardon me if I'm getting the details wrong, but just to give you kind of an overview. Rehgar is essentially a gladiator owner, and he finds Varian essentially, I think, kind of washed up on shore or abandoned, and he's got amnesia, and it's all very cliched. And, you know, he's going under the whole, I believe he calls him Logosh. That's how Varian gets the whole Logosh persona. And essentially, he's like a gladiator owner. He's very, picture Oliver Reed from the movie Gladiator. It's very similar to that. And, you know, he's got, his kind of, stable of gladiators and Varian. And so essentially they go through arenas and they fight, and it's WoW comics, so it's not thoroughly well thought out plotting. And Varian gets away with his group, and Rehgar essentially decides, doesn't want to get into the whole slave owning thing anymore. And gladiator, fighting. So he basically goes and kind of, works for Thrall. He's very much repents kind of his old way and decides to be a more productive member of the Horde. So that's kind of my quickie overview in terms of Rehgar Earth Fury. He is very much, one of those classic shamans. Personally, in terms of lore, I probably would have liked to see someone more like, if we were going to throw an orc in there, I'd like to see like an Eitrig or someone like that. But I'm more than happy to welcome Rehgar to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is he at this point in the game? He's actually one of the advisors to Thrall. I mean, he's pretty much right up there in terms of Horde politics. He definitely sided. He's one of the few who I felt sided against Garrosh during this whole Pandaria campaign. Like he felt like he didn't really believe in the direction that Garrosh was pushing him in. I wish that I thought about this at a time, because I have the action figure of Rehgar too. I'm that nerd. I have it. I could have been like, look, this is Rehgar, rah. No. So let's go over kind of their basic abilities, its traits. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and kind of start it off?
All right, so what he has instead of a mount is Ghost Wolf. And what Ghost Wolf lets you do is it lets you turn into a Ghost Wolf. And when you turn into a Ghost Wolf, it's instant cast, and you gain 30% movement speed. And this is also, it's great for chasing down people. So instead of having to mount, you can instantly cast Ghost Wolf, and when you get up close enough to bite them, or auto attack, either way, it does your first auto attack, which is your bite, will do double what your regular auto attacks would do. So it's great for chasing down low level or low health targets.
Yep. And then he also has a chain heal, which heals an ally and heals up to 2 other nearby allies. And even if no other allies are around, it'll heal you, bouncing off the other guy and heal you as well.
He's got an ability called Lightning Shield. Basically, he imbues an ally with lightning, which deals damage to nearby enemies and additional damage over 5 seconds.
He's got a Earthbind totem. Create a totem that slows nearby enemies by 35% and lasts for 8 seconds and can be destroyed. It's also can be used as like an intercept ability. It doesn't have an extreme amount of range you can place it, but you can throw it in front of somebody and it'll slow them down. You can kind of intercept them.
Yes, and then each hero, as we all know, except for Abbott there, gets their choice of 2 heroic abilities, which you have to actually get to level 2 to choose, and this is very frustrating because I wanted to try, when he first came out, I wanted to try them both, and it took a couple games for me to do it. But he has Bloodlust, which grants nearby allies 40% attack speed and 30% movement speed, lasts for 10 seconds, and Ancestral Healing, which after a short delay heals the allied hero, and it's a big chunk. It's something pretty close to like a 70 to 80% heal. So it's definitely a heroic ability level heal, and I feel like very few people choose it. In terms of the 2 heroic talents, we'll start with Brandon. Which one do you tend to go with?
I usually go with Bloodlust just because how much of a game changer it is. You can turn on a team with Bloodlust and heal the full with well, not full, but get a good heal off with a chain heal, and you can wipe their team pretty easily. So, but ancestry healing is really good. So, like I was talking about earlier, I went into this game with no assassins. So, with no assassins, Bloodlust isn't as great of a choice because you don't have that attack damage and all the auto attacks that you would usually have. So, but if you have a Diablo in your game that has 9k health, ancestral healing is great for when he gets down low. You can just heal him right back up to full. So,
So really, it's ancestral healing is kind of your sustain spell. You know, keep people in the fight, but just like Bloodlust is World of Warcraft, it's hey, let's burn them down quick. I use it both on enemy heroes, but it also works really well against like turrets and walls and all that type of stuff. Anyone else, you have any input on kind of the heroic abilities? Have you either playing as him or playing with him?
So to tag onto what you said, I don't really think that Bloodlust is a sustain ability because of the cooldown. It's more like crap button. To pull somebody back up to full and in like an emergency, but I don't really feel like it's a high reward spell because the cooldown on it, you use it once and that's pretty much it for that fight. You can't really rely on it again, which granted it's an ultimate, but I don't feel like the payouts as much because chain heal you can do a pretty good amount of healing with alone, or if you've got like another support, like for an example an Uther can do most of what ancestral healing can do, and he can keep doing it instead of that long cooldown.
Okay, Josh, have you had some practice with Rehgar at all?
Yeah, I play him all the time.
You play him all the time.
I always pick Bloodlust. It's especially if you get the the name of the map is leaving me, but the new map they added.
Garden.
Yeah.
Plants and Zombies.
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies. If you get in that one, that Bloodlust can really turn the tides of war in the middle of battle. I did that earlier actually. I popped it and we pushed the enemy team back to be able to take down the what are they? Terrors? Is that what they're called?
Towers.
The big plant guys.
Oh yeah. The
plant horrors.
Plant horrors, yeah. Plant whores. To take those guys down. It can really push the enemy team back if they already wasted their Bloodlust or if they don't have one.
Yeah, and I don't know, I can't remember right, but you can that will Bloodlust the Dragon Knight, right? So the Dragon Knight gets an increase too?
I'm not too sure. I can't remember. I always use it whenever there's a big team battle. You're pushing with the Dragon Knight. I don't know if he gets it though. I forget.
Doesn't the Dragon Knight only receive healing? Or
I'm not even sure. Like that's something I kind of want to test out now, just because I'm not 100% sure.
I didn't think that he could, because they were talking about it in one of the threads on the forums. I didn't think he could benefit from a lot of the hero abilities. I thought he only benefited from you could heal him, and I think you could stun him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you can't shield him. I know it doesn't let you shield him, like in terms of Tassar's ability.
Now, in terms of your level 20 talents, where you have the improved heroics and the Fury of the Storm type of stuff, which do you tend to take, Josh? Do you take the Gladiator's War Shout, where it makes a global Bloodlust with hitting minions and mercenaries as well, or do you tend to take something else?
What was the question again? I got distracted by chat. Sorry, there's so many faces in there. I'm like, what's going on in chat?
which like basically, what do you take in level 20? Do you tend to take the improved heroic ability or one of the other ones?
I take the improved heroic ability because, like I said, I take the Bloodlust. And that Bloodlust just, to me, seems very powerful, even though it only lasts for a few seconds. But that few seconds really makes up time, and I always beef that up even more than I can. I've never read what it does at level 20. I just know I pick it because I love it at level 10. I figure I'll love it at level 20 too.
Yeah, it's the one who ends up hitting mercenaries and minions and everything. So if you get all the mercenaries and then you're pushing and you set it off, it gets pretty ridiculous with the level 20 ability because everyone's bloodlusted at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've actually had some conversations. I think it was Fimless from Hotscast where when talking about kind of ancestral healing, he felt that ancestral healing didn't get strong until level 20 because what it does at level 20 is that it becomes a full heal for whoever you're healing, and then all allies near the target get healed for 25% of the initial amount. So like, you're almost dead. You have your Diablo, just about, dead as well. You heal Diablo up to full, and then everybody else gets almost full as well because of the 25% extra health. So it almost feels like ancestral healing needs that level 20 ability even more than say Bloodlust. Would you agree with that?
Just because it's almost a full heal on anybody, it's still really strong. Either way, I know even. Because you have to be, as a group, like at level 20, you have to be grouped up to be able to get the big heal off on everybody. But just even before that, it's still just an insane amount of healing that you can do, and to turn the tide of a team fight or something.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of kind of building Rehgar, are there any specific talents that you feel like need to be taken?
Yes. First off, I forget what it is, but it changes the 75% healing to, or no, not 75%. Changes the mana cost from 75 to 40, which you can just spam your heal all day long, and it's on such a short cooldown that you can keep your team alive for a great amount of time. So,
Josh, any necessary talents that you have to take?
I always take the main two ones I take always is the one where you cast Lightning Shield on someone and it gives them an overall bubble shield for a little bit, and then a couple levels higher than that, I take the one where I cast a Lightning Shield onto a teammate. It'll cast it on myself as well, just to get that extra shield and DPS in there, because it causes DPS, and it once you're in a big team battle up close, it adds up. Might not be super high, but I mean every bit helps. But I always take those two for sure.
Yeah, I really like the one where the two people getting the storm shield or lightning shield, because especially when I'm say Illidan, so your Rehgar is always putting it on you because he's gonna get it anyway, so might as well put it on you.
Yeah, I noticed when I was playing with you, Adam, and you were playing Illidan, that's what I took every time, so I could put it on you, and you chase down those the low HP targets and get them every time. So
you were ganking lobies, Adam?
Yes, that's what I do when I play Illidan, chase him down. David, you've been kind of quiet with Rehgar. What are your thoughts on Rehgar, kind of overall?
Yeah, I mean, I played him a couple times. I mean, I can see, and I think I may have mentioned this last time. I can see him being really good. In terms of if you're at a high skill cap, in terms of knowing when to pop all the cooldowns and everything like that. I also think it's really good for someone who's sort of leading the group. It's a good hero for them to play because they can sort of control the tempo of the match a little bit, like really pop Bloodlust or go for the big heals when they really need it. You were talking a little bit about ancestral healing, which I haven't had a chance to play with him on. I hope that what Brandon was saying is right in terms of that at level 10 it's still a very strong talent, because I think honestly if a talent's really only good at level 20 it's pretty useless because so much of the game is gone by then. I'll say from playing Bloodlust, it's still a pretty strong ability, even at level 10. This just is not my style of play. I like to be a little bit more active and if I'm going to be support, I need to, even when I'm playing a support character like Tassadar, I need to be able to deal out some damage. It's a little too support for me. So but I can see, if you're into that it would be really enjoyable. And he is a little bit unique in the sense that he is, so much of his skills are all around support, which, is a little bit unique for the game that it's so concentrated.
It's funny, when I first heard Rehgar, I was not expecting support. I don't know why. I don't know. I was expecting someone a little more DPS orientated, like more of a damage dealer.
The way I build him is I get that first talent at level 1, which gives the reduced mana cost, and then I build him basically DPS from there. I notice I can duel any assassins basically, unless Zero Tool gets the jump on me. You just put down your binding totem and the lightning shield, and you just keep spamming your Q on yourself, and you can usually duel anybody. So
now to kind of wrap up our hero spot, we're going to try something a little different than kind of before. Actually, kind of, I think I'm stealing this from other shows where they're kind of actually officially kind of giving their rank of, kind of a grade per se to the cards in Hearthstone. In this, I kind of like that idea. So Ben, if you had to kind of give Rehgar like a grade based on who else is out there in support, where would you put him? Would you say he's strong, weak?
Is this like a 1 to 10 scale? I mean,
you can do whatever scale you like. Everyone can have their own individual scales. I don't care. No.
I like his kit. He's unique. He's definitely like semi-strong, but I really haven't seen him like ultimately be the MVP of a match. One of the best supports in the game, I think, is Uther, just because his kit is insane. So I'd kind of put Rehgar maybe just a little bit ahead in the middle of the pack, more positive than negative, but I don't feel like the ancestral healing ability is really fit. I don't like the fact that it's like such a long cooldown for what it is, which is kind of my negative standpoint with that. And then also the whole, he's melee, and he has that feel, like the look and feel like he's a DPS kind of guy, but his entire kit is centered around support, which is nothing wrong with that. I don't feel like the nail was hit exactly on the head with him, but I still kind of like him. I don't have any problems with him. I definitely put him above, Lily and Brightwing. So,
Josh.
For support, I would say he's more towards the top because I really love Malfurion as support, but I love the fact that you can DPS more with this guy than you can Malfurion. So he's definitely up there at probably, depending what mood I'm in when I play them, it's switched probably between him and Malfurion as my favorites. But I will say I'm kind of glad that he's support over the next shaman I'm sure they're going to add, which is Thrall. I'm glad they're not going to make Thrall a support character, and I just want more shamans in the game. I play a shaman in WoW, so I breast those shaman in fact. So I'm excited to see what tweaks they might do to him as well too. But I say towards the top for sure.
Brendan, where do you feel he fits in terms of strength?
I'd probably have a little bit of a bias towards him because he is my favorite hero. I think he's at the top. I think he has the most utility of any support. Even though he doesn't have Sun, he has an instant mount that gives you 30% movement speed to go down and take out those low HP assassins. His chain heal, you can heal minions with it. I can keep a knight camp up for days and mercs camp up for days with a chain heal. So also I've noticed if I'm with a Zagara, her creep, I can actually put lightning shields on. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool thing. His lightning shield is so good because you can in early laning phases, you put your totem right in the middle of the enemy minions, and you put your lightning shield on the totem, and you can push a lane to the fort in about the first 5 minutes. So, yeah, I think he has probably the most utility of any support in the game right now, and also Bloodlust. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And David, what are your
I'm going to work on the Batman movie scale. So with the very best hero being the Dark Knight and the worst being Batman and Robin, I would put Rehgar at Batman Returns, which would be, I appreciate the artistic effort behind it, but I can live the rest of my life without ever watching it again.
And for me, I'm just going to do a classic 1 to 10. I'm going to say I would put him around a 7, which... to kind of give a idea, I think I would put Uther around a 9. So I definitely think Uther's a little better. And for one specific reason is that I feel as though in random play where you don't know who you're playing with, I think Uther can work with almost any hero and support any hero, where I feel Rehgar needs or excels with a melee, a warrior or like an Illidan or a Kerrigan.
Exactly.
So I feel like he falls just short of Uther, who you can put anybody in the same lane, he can support them the same. But I still like him. In match play, when we're picking people, he might be a little bit better, like an 8, for example, because you can specifically choose, a Illidan and a Tyrael to lane with him.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and I think that just about does it. Anyone have any kind of just final last-minute tips before we kind of head on out tonight?
Win.
Don't have bad manners.
Yeah, win. Use Bloodlust on cooldown.
On cooldown. Okay, well, that'll do it for this episode. I want to thank everybody for coming. Brandon, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, best way to contact you?
You can find me on Twitter at Triumph Wow. That's Triumph with WOW at the end. You can find me in Heroes playing games. I have a Twitch stream that I don't stream too often, but because the internet doesn't let me. But that's at twitch.com or wait, it's the channel's Triumphy, whatever that is.
Twitch.tv/Triumphy.
Exactly, you got it. Look, he knows my handle more than I do.
Well, he's watching you.
That seems a little creepy. Let's go, Josh. Where can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me here, like I say every week, at twitch.tv/Heroes of the Nexus at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also find me on my World of Warcraft podcast called Last Stand Radio at laststandradio.com. And then you can follow me on Twitter as well at Pakawan_AIE. It's spelled PAKKUAN_AIE.
David, where can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrillanCTR, BRILLAAN CTR. Also, I've got a new article up at Catalyst Gaming Media. I write for that site, so if you ever want to actually read something that I'm talking about, you can go there as well.
Mm-hmm. And if I can cut in, anyone should just take a minute and go read your stuff. I think you're a great writer personally. I've read some of your stuff back when you did Blizzmaster. It was awesome, and this new stuff is just great as well. Ben.
Thanks.
Oh, no problem. Ben, where people reach you?
As per normal, you can always find me on Twitter at Stacks and Packs. It's STAKSNPAKS. Mostly on there if you ever want to hit me up and play Heroes and so on. Hopefully we get into more of a regular regiment as Adam and I start to gear up for practice. And I guess now we're officially starting our, 12-show countdown until everybody sees us at BlizzCon.
Yes, in episode number 50. So I'm excited. You can reach me at Geek of Random on Twitter, or you can follow the show directly at the Nexus Podcast. Please, if you have any questions about Heroes, Battlegrounds, our thoughts on changes going through, please send them over to show@heroesofTheNexus.com. I want to thank Wolf Wartooth for leaving us a 5-star review over on the iTunes store. He said, fun podcast. He says, such a great cast. Podcast is one I look forward to every week. Keep up the great work. It's great to see that he thinks it's a fun podcast. I think that's what we try to do. We have fun kind of talking to each other, So thank you for leaving it. Anyone else that wants to leave one, we know we do the shout-outs every week to that. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, come join the chat room, twitch.tv/Heroes of the Nexus. Every week, Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. Come talk with our great chat room. It's a great time. And just like David writes for Catalyst Gaming Media, that's because we are part of Catalyst Gaming Media. So to reach any other podcast bloggers or writers like David, go ahead on over to catalystgamingmedia.com. Everyone, you have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you all inside the Nexus. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Have a safe weekend.
And stop. Awesome. Great show, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Brandon, for coming.
Thanks, guys.
It
It
was
was
fun.
it's my first time, so sorry if I was a little bit rough, but
No, dude, you're good,
that's
man.
cool.
Yeah, I would have thought you had at least done like a third of a podcast before.
I like doing thirds of stuff. That's my favorite fraction to do.
Just for the chat room as well, I do have proper headphones. I just find this more comfortable when I'm podcasting as well. I was going to do this for my headphones.
Yeah,
So,
those
this is
are
my
Ben's
headphone
friends.
choice. That
That was fun, guys.
Well, Lever,
Thank you.
what is your question? We are still alive, so if you want to shoot us your question, we can possibly answer it. Are you guys playing Heroes tonight?
Yep. I think I will.
Yep, that's one yes. Everybody else is like quiet.
I'm still recovering from last weekend. So it's gonna take me. It takes a while when you'll see when you're my age. It takes more than a day, so I'm probably gonna crash early tonight, to be honest.
Nice. Maybe some Marvel Heroes tonight too. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, Marvel Heroes. I tried to play this this morning, and it was down.
Maintenance.
Oh no.
Yeah. They added some Cosmos stuff in it. Marvel Cosmos.
Yeah, the Guardians. I love Nightcrawler. He's my favorite Marvel superhero.
He's pretty.
He's not my
rad.
favorite Marvel, but he's my favorite X.
Yeah, he's still the best.
You know what the
Overall.
funny thing is, Adam?
What's the funny thing?
I really like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it was a comic. Basically, until you guys started getting involved with it. Like when they started making like the cartoon and stuff like that. Like, and all of a sudden all these kids were watching it. I was like, oh man, this isn't cool anymore.
You know,
That was it.
I didn't read the comic till significantly after I watched the cartoon because I was young. So,
Yeah. I had one of the very early ones. I should have kept it because it's probably worth like big bucks. But I was like, nah, it's black and white. It'll never be worth anything.
Yeah, I have a question.
yes.
So on Twitch, how come our stream isn't listed under Heroes of the Storm?
Because we aren't playing Heroes of the Storm. Should we be?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
if you did a podcast where you only supposed to mark what you're actually playing.
No, a bunch of the other podcasts mark what game they're talking about while they're doing it.
Yeah, it gets people in here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll fix it. So answer for Coag, Adam. Well, I'll read the question. Adam, when are you getting Big Top Gaslow? The answer is never. I will never, ever get Big Top Gaslow, as there is a giant clown head on there. And I don't want to freak out every time I play the game. Yes, I do play WoW. I am on a small hiatus right now from live servers. I am just playing in the beta. I play a monk, and I'm on monk meditation. So if you want to hear about monks, you can come see me there. What's this other person?
Well, monks are the best class in the game, so.
Did we get a riddle? If the room is full of eggs that pop and produce whelplings, and there is a level 61 elite boss inside, what is the chance of surviving in a 10-man party?
33.3% repeating, of course.
It depends. If it's a pre-made party, then 80%. If it's LFR, 1%.
I think it's more of the
Whoa.
Leroy Jenkins video. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah. The original
Leroy.
Leroy. It's pretty bad that he even has a Hearthstone card at this point.
He's like the best
he's
Hearthstone card.
Leroy is actually going to be a follower for your garrison.
I saw he was like dead in some dungeon.
He is
Talk-
dead
Yes.
in UBRS, and then you can also get him as a follower for your garrison for whatever reason.
That's funny.
Old
By the
school
way-
players, I've been playing 2 months after it came out, dog.
You, David, you linked the Salad Senate stream and Twitch. They're part of CTR, right?
Yeah, we're part of
So,
CTR. We used to be the main 25-man team, but now everybody's 25-man. So.
This is random, but you linking that reminded me of this. I was driving in my car yesterday, and there was an SUV that started to drive past me, and the license plate said CTR Girl, and I was like,
really?
no way. And then I was like, no, it probably means Country Girl. Never mind.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
You're
though.
like, whoa.
Man, now we need a custom license plate. Not CTR Girl, obviously, but CTR something, just so I can have people like Ben being like, "Oh my god, oh my
CTR,
god,
man.
CTR.
Well, I was,
Just an offspring of AI.
Wait, what I did mention was that had that been at the actual CTR instead of Country Girl, I was going to roll down my window and start to call her a noob.
When you put if you were doing like
Play
a custom license plate, wouldn't you put a Y in there to make a country though?
It was like CTR underscore GRL, so it might have been too many characters.
Maybe. Well, thank you guys for coming. We're gonna shut down this stream. It was a great show. I thoroughly enjoy getting people in the chat room to talk. It's weird because like we did like shows, and we've always had DJ Billy, and he kind of listens and he talks every now and then. And now we get people that are talking, and, like, throws me off. What I'm saying? Like I'm like trying to read, and I'm like I can't read and talk at the same time. There's something wrong with me.
I have a hard time thinking and talking at the same time. It's a problem.
It's easier when you don't pay attention to what you're saying. That's what I.
This is true.
Oh man! Well, thanks again, guys. Thank you for coming live. We will see you guys next week. I'm hoping something cool comes out, some kind of new system or something we can talk about. So,
Chin this week. I'm calling it.
we'll talk to you guys later.
Cool. See y'all.
Like this.
Chatty.